At 2 a.m., his phone buzzed. Half asleep, he reached for it, expecting maybe a message from work or a friend. But it was from his wife. "I'm busy. I'll call later." Just 7 words, yet they froze him completely. He stared at the screen for a long moment before typing his reply, his hands trembling, but his heart strangely calm. "Don't bother," he wrote. "Stay with him." And with that, he put his phone down and watched his entire marriage collapse in silence. They had been together for 8 years, the kind of couple everyone thought was perfect. She was lively, charming, always the center of attention, while he was quiet, steady, the man who made sure the bills were paid and the lights never went out. But over the past few months, things had changed. Her laughter had grown distant, her smiles shorter, and her phone, always glued to her hand, had become her new secret world. He noticed the late-night messages, the sudden urge to run errands, the perfume that wasn't hers lingering on her jacket. He asked her once softly if everything was okay. She laughed it off, saying he was getting paranoid. So he stayed quiet, pretending not to see what was right in front of him. But that night, that 2 a.m. text shattered the illusion. He knew what it meant. She wasn't busy. She was gone. He didn't call her, didn't argue, didn't beg. Instead, he got out of bed, opened his laptop, and started what he called his final project. He went through bank accounts, insurance papers, property documents, everything they shared. By morning, he'd moved half their savings into a new account under his name. The next day, while she was still busy, he called a lawyer. When she returned 2 days later, she walked in casually, humming like nothing had happened. "You're up early," she said with a yawn. He looked at her calmly and replied, "I've been up for a while." Then he handed her a folder. Inside were divorce papers, a printed copy of her text, and a note that simply said, "I hope he's worth it." She froze, her face draining of color. "Wait, what? You can't be serious," she stammered, pretending to laugh. But when she saw the documents were already signed, reality hit. "You're overreacting," she snapped. "It was just a message." He smiled faintly. "Yes," he said, "just a message that said everything I needed to know." She tried every trick after that, tears, apologies, guilt, but his silence was unbreakable. When she realized he wasn't going to fight or forgive, she got angry. "You'll regret this," she screamed. "You'll never find someone like me." He looked at her one last time and said, "That's exactly what I'm counting on." She moved out. A week later, her family called, begging him to reconsider, but he had already made peace with it. What hurt the most wasn't her betrayal. It was how calmly she did it, as if their marriage was something she could pause and resume at will. Months passed. He focused on himself, hit the gym, fixed the house, started his own small business. For the first time in years, he felt free. The silence that once felt suffocating now brought peace. Then one afternoon, his phone buzzed again. Her name. "Can we talk?" He hesitated but replied, "Sure." She showed up at his office wearing a forced smile. "You look good," she said softly. "I miss you." He studied her, the same woman who once meant everything. "You miss stability," he said quietly. "You miss someone who cared. But you don't miss me." Tears filled her eyes. "I made a mistake," she whispered. "He left me. He used me." He nodded slowly. "I know. That's what happens when you text 'I'm busy' to the wrong man." She broke down, apologizing over and over, saying she wanted another chance. He listened, letting her speak, then finally said, "You had your chance. You threw it away at 2 a.m. with one message." As she left his office in tears, he didn't feel anger, just relief. She had destroyed something sacred, and he had rebuilt himself stronger than before. His revenge wasn't loud or cruel. It was simple. Success, peace, and the kind of happiness that didn't depend on anyone else. That night, as he sat alone on the porch watching the sunset, he smiled. He didn't need to reply anymore. Silence was his final answer, and his victory. If you liked the video, please subscribe and turn on notifications.